You ever come home from a long trip thinking you'll finally get a moment of peace, just to find out your whole life's been bulldozed while you were gone? Yeah, that happened to me. I pulled up after 2 weeks away to find nothing but smoldering rubble where my $3 million mountain house used to stand. And the kicker, the HOA demolished it over some unpaid fines. But here's the twist. I wasn't even in their HOA. Not now, not ever. You think I'm making this up? Stick around, because what they destroyed wasn't just lumber and stone. That fireplace they bulldozed. That's where I buried my late wife's ashes. And the woman behind it all, Brenda Winters, self-declared queen of the Aspen Creek HOA, had no clue who she'd just picked a fight with. So how far would you go if someone wiped out everything you held sacred? Drop your location in the comments, because this story gets wild. I'll be honest, the drive home up that mountain was always my favorite part. There's something about crisp Colorado air, the way the sunlight cuts through the pines, that just settles you right down. I'd built every inch of that land with my own hands. Cleared the brush, laid the gravel, poured the footings. I even set the grade myself. I knew every aspen and every deer trail by heart. This wasn't just a house, it was my sanctuary. The last thing Sarah and I built together before cancer took her. So I rounded the bend, expecting to see my old place standing proud. The Douglas fir logs, the Riverstone chimney, that wide deck where I used to watch the sunrise with my coffee. But all I got was silence and ruin. Not fire damage, no, it was a demolition job. Fresh, muddy tracks from a rented excavator cut straight through my lawn. You ever see your whole life turn to dust? I just stood there, boots on gravel, feeling everything inside me go cold. Now I'm an engineer. Governor too, but that's beside the point. I don't get mad, I get the facts. I checked the security cams I'd set up myself. 6 solar-powered HD units uploading every motion-triggered clip to a private server. First clip, 3 days back, some guy taping a neon orange notice to my gate. Not county, not city, just Aspen Creek HOA compliance. Next up, a white truck brings in the Komatsu excavator. Then a demolition crew, 5 guys with hard hats, drinking coffee, joking about tearing down a fortress. They had a clipboard. Fake emergency compliance order supposedly signed by the county, but I built that house myself. It was solid as bedrock. I watched on camera as the claw went through Sarah's old bay window. Watched them smash the fireplace, the one place I could still feel her. Watched them bulldoze my life because someone told them to. I knew exactly who. Brenda Winters. She'd sent me snarky letters before complaints about my flagpole, the color of my metal roof. Thing is, you couldn't even see my place from her subdivision. And legally, I was never part of their HOA. The deed proved it. My land was surveyed and recorded a 1.5 years before Aspen Creek HOA even existed. Never signed their bylaws, never owed their fees, never gave up my rights. So while the ashes of my home cooled, I started building a case. Not a threat, a mountain of evidence. First stop, county records. Judy at the deed office printed the plat maps and incorporation docs for me. There it was in black and white. My parcel existed before the HOA excluded by law and common sense. I snapped photos of everything just in case. Next, I grabbed my mail. There it was, a thick final notice from Aspen Creek HOA, 11 grand in bogus fines for things like non-permitted flagpole and unauthorized roofing, all permitted, all approved by the county. They just made it up, hoping I'd roll over. Not today. I gathered every document, deeds, permits, inspections. Each one was a nail in the coffin I was building for Brenda and her clipboard mafia. She'd tried to annex my property into her HOA kingdom on paper, but never filed it with the county, so it meant squat. Now, Sarah's memory wasn't something I could get back, but accountability that I could manage. I went to the next HOA meeting, small crowd, drab clubhouse Brenda holding court with her blazer and scepter clipboard. For 20 minutes, they argued over mailbox paint colors and trash cans. Then she moved to new business, smirking about finally demolishing the eyesore up the hill. I stood up slow and steady and let them know exactly whose house they just bulldozed. You could hear a pin drop. Brenda tried to play tough. claimed my property was annexed, claimed a county order. But I saw a forged document pinned to the community board county letterhead, but the font and watermark were all wrong. I took a photo right there in public, then pressed record on my phone. Brenda lost her cool, but I kept my composure. "Just documenting your justification for destroying my home," I said for the record. Then I walked out, leaving her kingdom crumbling behind me. Now, to dismantle a bully, you need receipts. Lots of them. Step 1, my friend George, retired county planner, reviewed the maps and confirmed my lot was never, ever under the HOA. He signed a sworn affidavit. Step 2, digital forensics. A buddy traced the forged county letters metadata right back to Brenda's laptop, time-stamped and all. Step 3, title search, no liens, no records, no legal basis for demolition. And finally, Milo, a structural engineer I'd worked with overseas, surveyed the damage. He found the whole slope destabilized by tearing out my retaining walls. They'd put Brenda's own neighbors at risk of a landslide. Milo's report was the final nail. Word got around fast. Brenda called an emergency HOA meeting hoping to rally the crowd. But before that, I sent the drone footage to every local news station. No commentary, just raw video of the destruction and the dangerous slope. The next morning, 2 news vans parked outside the clubhouse. Brenda tried to talk tough, but I walked straight to the front manila folder in hand and laid it all out. County maps, title reports, forged documents, engineering reports, security footage. People gasped. A board member resigned on the spot and Brenda's face went sheet white. Then I told them, "My name is Redmond Kane, and as of last week, I'm your state governor." Absolute silence. The legal fallout. It was surgical. My attorney Maria presented everything, exhibit by exhibit. Deed plat maps, expert affidavits, forensic proof, Milo's engineering data, appraiser valuations. The judge didn't buy a word of Brenda's. I thought it was best for the community defense. Judgment plus $4.8 million from the HOA for damages, rebuild costs, and punitive penalties. Full remediation for the mountain slope. Public apology on their website for a year. And for Brenda, immediate removal from office criminal charges for forgery and destruction of property and handcuffs right there in the courtroom. Did I feel triumphant? Not really, just relieved. Brenda wasn't a cartoon villain, just a small person who thought a little power gave her the right to play God. But the mountains have a way of humbling folks like that. Everything built on a lie eventually crumbles. A year later, I stood on the deck of my rebuilt home, cedar and pine, fresh in the air fireplace, just the way Sarah would have liked it, her ashes, now resting in a vault beneath the new hearth. The fallout in Aspen Creek, catastrophic. Their insurance paid out, but residents had to triple their dues for slope repairs. Dana, the ex-board member, used her legal skills to help dissolve the HOA entirely. The clubhouse became a tool library, neighbors started talking again, and folks realized a clipboard doesn't mean a thing when you've got the receipts. As for Brenda, 6 months in county, lost her house, lost everything. Not because I wanted revenge, I just wanted peace. On weekends now, my grandkids run across the grass where the excavator tracks used to be. I tell them stories by the fire about building things back better when they break. Community's not about rules and fines. It's about trust. So when someone tries to take your home, your peace, your memories, don't come at them with anger. Come at them with truth. Build something stronger. The wind through the pines, my flag waving on its fully permitted pole, and the sound of kids laughing in the yard, that's all the justice I need. Now tell me, what would you have done if you were in my boots? Let's talk about justice. Drop your story in the comments, and if you've ever tangled with an HOA, you know I want to hear it.